Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Lies official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Rex tells Sarah he thinks they should get married before the baby comes at the Kyriakis mansion. Smiling, he guarantees her he's focused on her, and to making her go gaga for him once more. She earnestly trusts he can do that, yet it doesn't feel right to get hitched before Victor's burial service. At the point when she makes reference to Philip can't return without confronting the results of how he treated Brady, Philip enters. Actually, that is no longer the case, he asserts. When Nicole finds out from Chloe at the Dimera mansion that Philip is still alive, she is shocked. She chuckles that Chloe doesn't need to wed Xander now. Nicole talks eloquently about first loves when Chloe becomes defensive. Chloe contemplates whether Nicole's discussing herself now. Outside the bar, Xander considers what on earth Theresa is doing there, crying fake tears. She makes sense as she's back for offer her appreciation for Victor, yet the tears are about Brady. He priggishly accepts Brady advised her to get lost. Saying the Sarah Horton did to you, she fires back. Isn't that so? Xander's smile blurs. In Bayview, Ava lets Harris know that she's not answerable for the passing of EJ's mom. She describes seeing Susan outside the vehicle before it detonated. Harris asks why she missiled Dr. Evans about not recalling that anything during entrancing. She didn't figure she would trust her, yet she demands Susan is 100% alive. Outside of Bayview, EJ meets a hit woman. He doesn't really mind how it works out, as long as Ava faces a similar outcome as his long-lost mother. The woman thought that EJ no longer did such things. EJ answers that this is private. The lady will deal with it without a hint of his contribution. EJ gives her an envelope and says that Xander ought to go with Ava to the grave because he was just as to blame for his mother's death. With her hand on her stomach at the medical clinic, Sloane blankly gazes off. She apologizes to Eric for the loss of their child. She knows the amount he needs to be a dad. He reassures her that they are still together. She needs to go for a stroll to clear her head before they meet at the bar later. Alone, Sloane faults herself for Eric not being a dad to both of his children. Outside the bar, Theresa insults Xander about his jokester shenanigans, which sent Sarah away. He tells her he's currently connected with Chloe. After leaving Chloe with Mateo in Mexico, Theresa asks, dumbfounded, how he managed that. Xander calls that old history. Chloe realizes he's changed. Theresa believes he's a similar twisted psycho she's constantly known. Xander counters that he just turned down a major payday to accomplish something horrendous. Thus, see, he has changed. Theresa realizes he'll return to frame when he's sufficiently frantic. She trusts when things get terrible, Chloe will put a blade in him as she did El Fidio. She wouldn't believe assuming anybody returned for his memorial service. She is held by Xander. Eric dives in, requesting him to get his hands off her. Philip informs Rex and Sarah at the Kyriakis residence that Brady has agreed not to file charges. Supporting his brother, Rex Philip says thanks to him and is astonished to learn Rex is the dad of Sarah's child. After Sarah passes on to rest, Philip wonders over all that turning out for Rex, which is the reason Chloe is presently with Xander. Rex moans over Philip actually being fixated on her. Sloane tracks down EJ outside Bayview. They empathize over needing to vindicate their folks' demise, yet Sloane alerts it leads down a dull way. EJ gives sympathies for the deficiency of her child, yet when he makes reference to his and Nicole's youngster, Sloane blames him for partaking in Eric's misery. EJ demands he knows Eric's aggravation, however perhaps being a dad simply isn't in that frame of mind for him. Perhaps it is, Sloane distinctly counters. Nobody merits the aggravation of losing a youngster, EJ says. His heart goes out to the two of them. Inside Bayview, Harris desires Ava to tell EJ that Susan is alive. Ava opposes, dreading EJ will have a hard time believing her. Wearing cleans, EJ's hitwoman enters, asserting it's the ideal opportunity for Ava's prescription. A vigilant Ava says she's never gotten prescription there. The lady says it's new. Harris suggests that Ava contact her physician to verify that they ordered it. The lady threatens to use a weapon. At the Kyriakis Chateau, Philip demands he's come to see that his adoration for Chloe transformed into an undesirable compulsion. He does, however, acknowledge that he is still completely in love with her. Exasperated, Rex throws his head back. Philip promises he won't attempt to separate Xander and Chloe, which would let loose Xander for Sarah. That doesn't concern Rex at all, particularly since Sarah's conveying his child, Philip adds. Right, Rex says unconvincingly. In the dinner manner, Nicole attempts to separate her circumstance with Eric and EJ with Chloe's. However, even she understands it's kind of something very similar. She shouldn't have ventured to attempt to guide her affection life. Chloe demands what she had with Philip as previously, however her heart skirted a thump when she saw him. However, only because she was surprised to find him alive. Nicole counters that her heart was telling her Philip is the one she ought to be with, just after she dumps Xander on his questionable ass. After more to and fro, the companions make a settlement that they don't get to pick who the other is with. After Xander stalks off, Eric and Theresa get up to speed. Eric contemplates whether being a dad simply isn't important for God's arrangement. Subsequent to offering him trust and backing, Theresa requests that her cousins set the ball rolling in a good direction for her with Brady. At the point when Eric questions her, she backtracks and keeps comforting him. Alone, Theresa says she can place in her own good word with Brady. She says she will not give up on him. Philip meets Chloe in the square and thanks her for supporting him with Brady. In order to take Chloe to dinner, Xander strolls over. As they leave, Chloe looks back at Philip with longing. Sarah gets back to Rex, who trusts Philip doesn't attempt to separate Xander and Chloe. It's really great for everybody, he says, particularly Sarah and her child. Sarah doesn't look so persuaded. An energized Sloane races into the bar to propose she and Eric take on a child. Checking his telephone, EJ returns home to Nicole. He says he's looking out for word that his partner has finalized a negotiation. Ava grabs the gun as Harris rushes Bayview to confront EJ's hitwoman. Next on Days of Our Lives, things take a turn for Harris and Ava, and Trip and Wendy take a stab at sentiment. Days of Our Lives presently solely airs on Peacock. Subscribe to Peacock to ensure you never miss an episode. If it's not too much trouble, note that in the event that you buy something by tapping on a connection inside this story, we might get a little. Thanks for watching if you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.